a stone maw sunk deep in the roots of the world. Only breath, rising from the dark. You are born in that breath. A pup with bones too large, eyes sealed shut. You came into the world already full-sized, already bound. The gods forged your collar before you drew your first breath. They anchored you here, at the mouth of Gnipahellir, the single place you will ever stand. Frost builds along your flanks. Blood stains your chest from those who tested this gate and failed. You do not roam the 9 realms. You were made for this single post, and so you stand. The chain groans each time you shift your weight. It keeps you close enough to see the path, far enough that you will never walk it. Your life begins as it will end, rooted to the mouth of the underworld, waiting for the day the sky splits and the gate is worth guarding. You were forged, a collar for a cradle, a chain for a name. The dead pass beneath your gaze, and you taste the air they leave behind. Still, you wait for the one worth breaking the leash. She comes without fear, a girl, half flesh, half corpse, stepping from the mist at the world's end. Her eyes find you through the frost. You rise, the chain pulling tight, the sound grinding through the stones. Your growl rolls low, heavy, a sound meant to end all approach. You watch her, waiting for the flinch, the falter, the smallest sign of hesitation. She kneels. Her hand rests on your head, cool as winter stone, steady as the earth. In that stillness, you know her as another creature sentenced to the same exile. The years settle in. When she speaks to the newly dead, you stand behind her, a shadow among shadows. When the wind howls across the frozen plain, she sits at the base of your chain, her cloak pressed against your side. When the frost in your coat grows heavy, she combs it free with fingers colder than the ice itself. She feeds you from her own stores because this place offers nothing worth chasing. Sometimes you hunt anyway, bringing down the pale deer that wander too close to the gates. She takes nothing from the kill, but the corners of her mouth lift, almost like thanks. You walk the boundary together, your paws breaking the crusted ice. When she speaks, it is to tell you of the world above, a world neither of you belongs to anymore. Seasons turn without sun or moon to mark them. No other living soul will ever stand at your side this long. And so you decide, without vow or oath, that when death comes for her kingdom, it will have to pass through you first. The living forgot her name, but you made sure they remembered her walls. The years pass without numbers. The frost gathers on the chain, breaks, gathers again. Nothing changes. You and she endure. The dead arrive in endless procession, drifting like pale snow across the plain. They pass through the gate, their shapes swallowed by the mist. The living are rarer. Sometimes a wandering god, or a hero clutching a fool's hope, dares to come near. They always stop when they hear your growl. Some run. Some stand frozen until her voice cuts through the cold. Only then do you let them pass. Never without watching their every step until they are gone. When the hall is empty, you lie beside her throne. Her hand rests in your fur, slow strokes that still the storm in your chest. In this silence, you come to know her moods without speech. The way her fingers tighten when grief touches her. The way her shoulders ease when she feels safe. The way she lingers at the gate after a rare visitor leaves, as if watching for something that will never return. You have learned her silences. The weight in her hand. The stillness in her breath. The stillness breaks with footsteps, not the soundless drift of the dead, but the living weight of a god. You rise. The chain at your throat grinds against the frost. The air tastes warmer, sharper. The scent is foreign. It does not belong here. He comes alone, helm low over his eyes, voice steady though his heart races. Hermr, he calls himself. He speaks of Baldur, a god fallen too soon. He wants him back. You bare your teeth. The sound fills the cavern mouth, low and steady. He holds his ground. Brave, or foolish. Your paws shift in the snow, but before the lunge comes, her voice. Her command is not loud, yet it cuts deeper than any chain. You step aside. Hermr passes, glancing at you only once. He disappears into the shadows of her hall. You wait. When he returns, the air around him is heavier. Her decision is made. Baldur stays. The living above have not mourned enough. Hermr leaves with empty hands. She says nothing, but you smell it, the faint salt of grief beneath the cold. Her fingers linger on the arm of her throne. You step close, pressing your head to her knee. The sound in your chest is not a growl. It is something older, softer, the only comfort you can give. And in that moment, you decide what you have always known. You will never let her face loss alone. You stand beside her, until the cold swallows it whole. The first crack comes from deep below. A shiver runs through the frost, through the stone, through your bones. The 9 realms tremble. Midgard splits. Asgard burns. In Helheim, the frost creeps back from your paws. Something ancient stirs in the metal at your throat. Somewhere far away, the wolf breaks his fetters. The serpent coils through the sea. And here, at the mouth of Helheim, the chain at your throat trembles. It is the pull of the world ending. The first link bursts with a sound like iron screaming. The second follows. Then the weight at your neck falls away, and the cold air hits fur where no air has touched since your first breath. You lift your head. She's there. Hell. She walks to you. One hand at your jaw, another between your ears. You lean into the touch. She holds your gaze, and in that moment, everything that needs to be said is already known. You take your first step forward. Then another. The air opens around you, and your chest swells. The sound you have kept for centuries rises from deep within, the howl that belongs to no mortal hound. It pours into the frozen air, rushing across every realm, rattling every hall, waking even the gods from their fearless dreams. It is the sound of bonds breaking, the sound of the end. When it fades, she is already far behind, but her scent lingers on your fur, steady as the frost. And that is enough. Her hand was the last weight you chose to bear. Her scent, the last crown you carried. The plain of Vigrid yawns before you, endless, gray, and trembling with the march of war. The air tastes of iron and storm. Every step you take breaks centuries of stillness. Snow bursts beneath your paws. Each stride is faster, harder, louder. Across the field, he waits. The god who once fed his own hand to bind a wolf. The god who knows exactly what you are. Tear, your eyes meet, as the pull of fate, drawing you together like 2 blades on the same whetstone. The clash comes sudden. Steel arcs down, you lunge up to meet it. Your jaws close on his sword arm. His blade drives into your ribs. Pain explodes through your chest, white hot, and almost welcome. You twist. He shoves. Both of you are breathing in snarls now, locked in a knot of fong and steel. You feel his ribs crack beneath your weight. He feels your teeth sink to the bone. The ground shifts. Your legs weaken, but so does his stance. Both of you fall. The sky spins above you. The noise of battle rolls away, distant and hollow. You draw in one last breath, tasting blood. His and yours, the same now. You do not look for her. You do not need to. You know she will be waiting at the gate, her hand ready to rest where your head once lay. And with that, you are still. The gate stands empty. The throne waits. Only the snow returns before you do. The gate stands open. Snow drifts across the path. The dead still come, but no growl greets them. Hel sits alone on her throne. One hand rests on empty stone where a great head once lay. In the sagas, your name is a footnote. In her realm, you are the silence that follows the last heartbeat. But Hel's story does not end here. To know the queen of the dead, her rise, her exile, and the weight she carries still, watch why it sucks to be Hel.